Hello and welcome back. So here are my solutions for the exercises I had you do on loading image data. Here I had you define some transforms and then load the actual data set with image folder and then turn that into a data loader using this Torch utils data loader class. So here I chose just a couple transforms. So first I'm resizing the images to be 255 by 255 squares. So basically, even if your image is actually a rectangle, then this will resize it to be a square with 255 pixels on each size. So the first transform I used was resize. So this resizes your images to be squares with 255 pixels on each side. So even if your original image is a rectangle, this will change it into a square. Then I did a center crop with 224 pixels. So this crops a square out of the center of the image with 224 pixels on each side. And then I convert it into a tensor, which we can then use in our networks. And with the transform defined, we can pass that into this image folder and along with the path to our data set, and that creates a dataset object. And then with the dataset object, we can pass that to data loader. And so this will give us back a generator where we actually can get our images and labels. And so here I just chose a batch size of 32, and this shuffle is set to true. So basically, every time you loop through the generator again, like multiple times, every time you do that, it'll randomly shuffle the images and labels. So with that loaded, we can see what it looks like. We have a nice little dog snout here. So here I had you define transforms for our training data and our testing data. So like I was saying before, with training data, you typically want to do data augmentation. So that means, rotating it, resizing it, flipping it, etc., to kind of create this simulated data set of, more images than we actually have. So firstly, it just gives you more data to actually train with, but secondly, it helps the network generalize to images that aren't in the training set. So for my transformations here, I first chose to do a random rotation with 30 degrees. And so this is going to rotate in either direction up to 30 degrees. Then I did a random resized crop. So this is going to randomly resize the image and then take a crop from the center of 224 pixels square. And then after that crop, then do a random horizontal flip. So it's going to mirror it, horizontally and change it to a tensor. And then with the test transforms, kind of the same as before, resize it to 255 pixels and then do a center crop 224, and then finally change it to a tensor. Then here with the train data and test data, we can pass our data directories and our transforms through this image folder to actually load the data, and then give our loaded data to our data loaders to actually get our, load our data sets. So that we can see data from the train loader, looks like this, and we can see data from our test loader, just like that.